Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode on our Minecraft server. Hope that you all have an absolutely fantastic day. And, well, we've got a lot of different updates to go over, mainly related to the Mega Base build over here. And there's been a lot of really cool things that we've done so far in terms of this, mainly just continuing this out. But this is a really nice view of the build itself because it kind of gives you an idea of the overall effect that I'm going for. In fact, we haven't really done anything like a flyover of what the base is actually looking like. So let's take a moment and do that so you can get kind of a grand scope. And as you can see, we've got a very large circle that goes out all the way around the base of this, and I think I've mentioned it in previous videos, but to get the fog effect that we're going for, I did go ahead and bring this down about 20 levels, and there are a couple of changes or adjustments that we've made to that as well. I went ahead and coated the bottom part of the kind of dome-shaped areas around the edges here with obsidian, and I've got plans to do the same thing for this side area as well, all the way up to the top. Now, the question about why I'm using obsidian is because I think it's a little bit easier to make, actually, than using black concrete. Because I'm already using large amounts of sand for all of this glass that I have to smelt down for it, and so the obsidian is actually quite a bit easier, and I can place it exactly where I need to by jumping back and forth from the pit to my nether portal, since that's relatively close, and then we just make trips back and forth with buckets of water to curate back into the obsidian. And that is something that I will do for the edges here all the way up along until this marker up along the edge here. And when I say that, I mean the area immediately below it, because that's what brings it to ground level, and then the actual lip, or one layer below, I'll probably go ahead and coat with dirt or stone or concrete or something else that will kind of help to occult the edges as we get that finished out here. But yeah, this has been a very long and tedious process, and as you can see, we've got our AFK flower farm running over there to provide us with more of the light gray dye, as I've completely exhausted all of the collection that I had done of that previously. And what I'll probably end up doing next is I'll take a bunch of these shulker boxes out to the desert to dig up some sand, but I'm not going to showcase that because, well, that's not very exciting at all. And neither is sleeping, but I guess I'm still here talking, so. But that's kind of my thought process currently. As you can see, this was the box that we had full of our different materials there, and they have been completely exhausted in terms of the azure bullets and other things. And then I think this was a shulker box that I was storing the chorus fruits and other potions in from the end chest raiding that I was doing. But yeah, I'm very happy with how well this this farm is functioning. I've got the lower bit coated out with a bunch of wheat seeds, but unfortunately I did make the mistake of not filling the hoppers with them as well, so they're not coating through as much as I would like them to. But that's okay, as that does happen from time to time, and I can just go ahead and edit that at some point in the future as well. So, well, that's kind of the big gist of what I wanted to have a look at, and I do have plans to do more with the actual castle area itself, and I've got one last rocket here, so let me go and grab a few more so we can kind of walk around and do other things. I want to play a lot with some gradients with this as well, texturing and other things, as that's really a big challenge that I am giving to myself with this project. It's really the first base build that I'll be doing. I really like the castle vibe that I have going for it, and the floor pattern is kind of a brief little example of what I have in mind with doing some texturing. Of course, I do plan to expand that quite a bit more as we bring the walls higher and higher. I'll probably go back to the end fortress and use a Silk Touch pick on some of the damaged blocks, damaged stone blocks, as that'll add some nice texturing there, as well as seeing if I can mix in some of the blocks that are coated in moss as well, as that will add some really nice textures to the overall build also. But this is the general framework. I think I'm actually going to make it a 2 or 3 tier build. So I've got this tower here set up to the point where you can kind of get an idea of where I've got the first level here and then the second level. The third level, that was where I initially thought of having like the precipice of the wall and a little walkway around the outer wall that comes around the edges here, but I might actually bump that up a third level, so I have 3 layers on the interior, and then I can go ahead and extend that walkway up a little bit higher as well. So a lot of things to think about and play around with, and I honestly wouldn't mind taking this build up to a larger scale in the future, well, for future projects, not where it's currently listed here. But that would be a lot of fun, to be honest, with that. There's a lot of work still cut out to do here, and one other thing that I think that I'll do once I've got the little void pit area here finished out is I actually think that I'll go over to this creeper farm and do a little bit of some pixel art on the side, so it's not just a giant, terrible looking gray mass of yuck, honestly. But that's kind of the overall thought process that I had, and I will probably end up trying to do a portion of this, or at least the last little bit of it, in a time-lapse sequence, as I think that would be really cool to watch how the final bits come together. And I did have to sacrifice my canal a little bit for the pit and where it's at, but the canal honestly wasn't serving as much as a purpose as it initially was, as now we can fly around and we've got our own little set of villagers over here. And that was the main reason that we had the villagers, or the canal put together, I guess I should say, was to bring the villagers over from our initial starting area to here. But one other thing that I did want to go ahead and showcase real quick, my Electra is not doing super great, but it's well enough to showcase kind of what we're looking at here. And as we jump over into our nether portal area, I'll actually kind of showcase exactly what I've been doing as I fly down here with a series of a couple of different buckets, and I will then fill them up along the edge of this little lava lake here, and you can see just how much lava I've been picking up. It's a fair amount. I mean, I've gone all the way from here and even over. No, I actually started over here with these gravel and soul sand beds. So yeah, I started grabbing the lava from over here and going out just about as far as I can reach with those buckets, and I've been flying back and forth a lot. I've made it all the way around this little coastline here. Actually, there's a little block up there that I managed to take one of the lava bricks from to free up the walkways. There was a waterfall that kind of flowed, and by waterfall I mean lava fall, that I had to clean up a little bit. And I've since made it all the way over to here, and there's much more that I will have to pull from here as I continue to coat the lines or the sides of that pit with obsidian. And we'll see how well it comes together. It seems to be doing very well for the time being. Now I may end up going back through and coating the bottom layer of that pit with black concrete, or going back in after the fact and making that adjustment depending on how the effect looks. But overall, things have made some really nice progress, and I'm quite happy with how well they've come together. It looks like there have been a couple of... What could have lit all of this on fire, because I don't have any blazes near here, and any of the ghasts would have blown bigger holes in this platform. But maybe it's just things perpetually on fire in the nether. But that's, again, kind of where we're at currently. And there's a lot more to do on these projects, and I'm super excited for it. Really happy with how that flower farm is working in terms of producing flowers and other things for our project. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below of this project. Do you think that it's coming along as well as I think it is? Do you have any other input? As I'm open to ideas and suggestions here as we kind of get things put together. But that's my general thought process as to how we're going to put things together here. So thanks again for watching and for taking the time out of your day to check out this video. We will be back on Saturday with another update, probably from this server, possibly from the other one. Who knows? Only time is going to tell. So if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like, as that greatly helps me out, and subscribe if you haven't already, as we've got daily content coming to you from a couple of different video types. So thanks again for watching, and you have yourself a fantastic rest of your day.